not. Bullet. Anyway, so Bullet. Oh man, hey, Bullet.
Yeah. So it's just L.A. and back.
I take my compliment back.
Babe, it's okay.
Okay?
It's okay. I dropped $1,000, so I can't get back on an airline. But if I ever want to fly to Hawaii, by the way, there are no flights from Charlotte to Hawaii.
Bullet.
So if I'm ever in LA and I want to go to Hawaii, I got a $500 credit. So not $1,000, which I spent, and that's gone. That's gone.
Bless your heart.
Even though I clicked the button that says protect your trip, and they ask you if you want to take $25, I'm like, we'll see what happens. My life is a little crazy. We'll see how it all goes.
Boy, listen, I know that this makes it all better. Look, boy, this is a now and later. Okay, I'm gonna give to you.
You mean Starburst? This is a now and later.
Starburst.
No, this is actually Starburst. This is brand name.
Oh, yes, brand name.
This is brand name. This is
and a lot of you, our old school fans, will remember there used to be a commercial, but maybe a little bit before your time. It was a lifesaver commercial. Very depressing if you watched it, because every time a son missed that one in free throw and was he lost the game, his dad gave him a lifesaver. Okay.
Wasn't there one where he broke up with a girl and also gave a lifesaver to?
Yes.
How about we recreate that?
But I was
Because it feels like my heart gets broken every 6 months.
I know. I don't understand. I don't. Listen, but I can help you in every situation with life. Seriously, boy. Except,
I mean, I can live underneath a bridge. I know how to work an arm. But after that,
but that gets lonely. That's what I'm saying. Okay, poor Charlie Dreamer. I apologize to him every time I see him. Okay?
Oh no, he's doing okay. He's
doing very good.
He's got a great family. He's smiling in every Facebook photo. I'm listening to Keaton Henson and crying my eyes out every night and wondering why I can't sleep.
That's what I tell Charlie. I said, "Hey, you should have taught me to smile, okay?
Yeah.
Because I ain't been smiling. But anyway, I can't teach you that. I'm sorry, Bullet.
It's okay.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Initiative Ad. You work, you wrestle. Hear the claps. You know what time it is. George Howard's weekend. Hopefully I got that intro right. I ran right over this. As I've said before, sometimes my mind gets ahead of my mouth.
That's okay.
And that's why my handwriting is so sloppy, because my mind gets ahead of my hand. That just means I'm super smart. So.
Bullet, very, very smart. Bullet, thank you so much, Bullet. I know you are fixing to get very, very, very busy here.
Oh, my life's in shambles. My life's in shambles.
And I'm worried about a little, a 30-minute TV show, Bullet. But still, thank you so much. I know your next few days are going to be crazy.
Oh, yeah. It was almost crazy last night. I had an incident. I'm going to an open mic, and I was going to do some time, and then something happened. And then I'm like, all right, instead of me causing a scene, I'm just going to leave.
Oh.
I removed myself from the situation physically. I almost lost it in the middle of a group of people, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to get mad. I'm just going to walk away.
Bullet, I'm telling
you. Don't go away mad. Just go away.
Boy, if you ain't got nothing else from this show, I don't know how that show helped you.
I've done a very good job recently of trying to put myself out of bad situations.
Boy, I love that.
I'm trying to. Now, granted, some of these $5 wrestlers have tried my patience
yeah.
time and time again, but luckily, some of the people that are the biggest headaches have left me as well. So that's great. Yeah. I love that.
Boy, I did, side note, did see just a small taste of that. I was there for the $5 wrestling event that you did Saturday.
On
Saturday. No, this past Saturday.
Not the Thursday one.
This past Saturday, and my hat's off to you. I mean, it's just, I don't think, even as long as you've been doing it, I don't think some of them even realize what you're doing for them. I really don't. Some of them, Bullet, a lot of it is they expect stuff, and it's really a lot on you to just make that take place.
Especially that day, I had landed at 10 a.m. after wrestling in Connecticut the night before. I landed from LaGuardia at 10 a.m., got immediately to the office, started packing, then drove up to Morganton, did this show, found out my main event had canceled on me. Then another person I was going to put into the main event also canceled on me. Then another person was involved, was going to cancel on me. And I had one objective in this show, and I had to figure out a way to achieve it with 11 people. Yes. And I figured it out.
Yep, you sure did. You sure did. And pulled it off. But before we jump into this show, not to stay along that depressing, sad line, but I know all of our great fans have heard the news, of course, this past week. one of my all-time favorite singers, of course, Eddie Money, passed away. Bullet, so thankful that 2 years ago I got to meet him, became a Concord, Charlotte, played a
Picture's
huge
still on
concert.
my phone. I deleted a bunch of pictures, especially recently. Recently, I've deleted a lot of pictures off my phone. But I kept that picture.
Bullet, thank you. And it's just, my heart breaks. I mean, because, that and I know we always joke about his music stuff took us back. But for me, it did. I mean, it was just the whole 80 era, and it got me through high school. And I even think I got pregnant 3 times listening to him in the car. I mean, that's how much he was to me. Well, anyway, but here's how.
I was wondering what was going to pique his interest. I've been saying all kinds of crazy stuff just to get his attention. But, and all of a sudden, that did it?
Stan Lane's going to come pull up a seat and listen to this show. Cable Collie is, I think. He's going to be a special guest.
I did it.
Cable Colley's going to come down out of the ceiling on our show with a bat in his hand on that. Okay?
That or like Shawn Michaels like this. Where he's like his feet are like this.
Yeah.
Like, how cool are you when you basically are like this?
Listen.
I'm the coolest person on the planet.
I made that comment. Stan Lane, I think, left his boots in the middle of the floor.
Yeah.
They can't top it. But anyway, my hat's off to I mean, just so much love for me, for Eddie Money. Here's how goofy people are. I had posted a little something about how much Eddie Money, basically helped me raise my kids, which is a true story. Bullet. I used to, the kids wouldn't behave, so I'd put Eddie Money in, and I mean, for years, the twins thought Eddie Money was like a cousin. I mean, seriously, they thought, they thought he was like part of the family. But anyway, so I post something, and a lady that I don't even know on these Facebook crap.
The 1B to your Steve Perry.
Oh, exactly. A lady even said, "Oh, did you know him?" That's what some lady, in my mourning, okay, and I'm just reminiscing about the girl that got away singing Shakin', some lady asked me, "Did you know him?" Are you kidding?
I felt like I knew him. Doesn't that count?
Bullet, I think they don't even know who Eddie Money is. I think they think he's like my uncle up in Boone or something. But stop, okay? Just let me be misery. So anyway, I will always cherish the time I got to meet him. Boy, we've joked about it. We've shared about it that, he was up on stage before he finished the last song. He said, "It sounds so much like us." He said, "When I finish this last song," he said, "I'll meet you over at my table." And I'm thinking, yeah, right. That's something good to get us to go over there to buy something. But I ain't lying, before the encore, but he was at his table waiting. And it was just so laid back. I asked him 3 times, "Were you Eddie Money?" I mean, he was so approachable, if that makes sense. And he was giving stuff away. His drummer's giving him the office, telling him to, we're supposed to charge for this stuff, okay?
I get a cut of that too.
He was signing, and I remember I had one of probably the same shirt that I got on now. I'm not sure, but he wanted to trade shirts. And he said, "We'll trade shirts right now." And I was kind of joking, and the drummer looked at me, and I'll never forget this. Drummer says, "No, he means it." I mean, I'm thinking I should have took him up on it, but he said, no, he means it. So I really think that, but boy, and here's something that I'm going to add, and then we'll move on is, and I want to be this well, and this is what I achieve in wrestling. You always hear that once you passed on, that the people that were in the same career, the same business that you are on, was there any respect or anything like that? And it's just amazing to me. I knew he was a cool guy because he could have been a jerk to me because I was obnoxious and breaking in line to meet him. But anyway, and I even told him, I said, "You got me through high school." He said, "Well, is that good or bad?" But anyway, so, but there's been so many great artists over this last week in the middle of their concerts paid a tribute by singing one of his songs.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty cool. But that took a part of me because I've been listening to his greatest CDs, and it was just cool because every song made you think of a time that you hadn't thought about, Bullet, in the 80s. My heart was broke many, many times. Just so my hat's off to him. He was just a great dad because his daughter and his son, they have continued to follow him in music, and so they're doing real good themselves, and I'm sure that they will continue that. But anyway, just a sad, for me personally, it was a very sad note, Bullet, because and his music, of course, will live on. The one thing that I'm ticked at, and I almost saved it for the idiot bag, and they always do this, but we'll wait just a minute if you don't mind, Bullet.
No,
yeah,
I'm just.
Did they even get our chips? Did they?
No.
So our chip bag.
Okay.
Jay Drake, somebody stole our idiot, our personalized idiot bag.
Okay.
We had to use a chip bag.
I got a cover for it. I got a cover.
But here, oh boy, I had a good point. What did I have? Bullet, I had something. Oh, what was I going to say? Oh God, it was good, Bullet. Something that ticked me off.
Not ready for the idiot bag yet, but you wanted to do this.
Yeah, but what was it? I done forgot. Well, I've been hitting the head too many times.
Oh, don't blame it on that. Don't be like that Vladimir Koloff, where it's just like, have I met you before? I don't remember your name. Sorry, I get hit in the head with chairs a lot. No, you haven't. You haven't got hit in the head with a chair in 25 years.
Bullet, I hate that.
Oh, I hate that. And that reinforced me to never use that excuse.
No.
Ever. I hate it when people are like, oh, I got a lot of brain damage.
I know. I hate that.
No, you're just a moron.
That's exactly
and you forgot something because you're an idiot.
And Bullet, listen.
Take some alpha brain.
I hate that. That is right up there with when they say, how's it going? And I say, and it's only wrestlers that do this. And I say, well, how's it going with you? And they say, another day in paradise.
Oh,
I hate that.
Oh, I hate living the dream. Living the dream, brother. I will murder you. The next person that says, I'm going to start carrying a box cutter with me. And the next person that says, live in the dream, brother, I'm slicing your throat.
No, I hate that. And no other form of life or species.
No, you don't go to a bank.
That. No,
you don't go to a bank and they say, live in the dream, brother.
No. And it's always... It ain't the wrestlers that are on the road 7 days a week.
No.
It's the ones that do it once a month or maybe once a year that are living the dream. And I can't. Oh, boy. I'm so glad we just bonded. Okay? So, anyway, thank you, Eddie Money, for just so many great years. And, of course, his music's going to live on, and I love him. And it just and I wasn't really a big fan of those, but the lead singer for the Cars, which was another 80-ish band.
I dig that when I would go home to my bar back in Preston, Iowa, I would go there and I put in the jukebox the three songs that I would always play. One of them was Atomic Punk by Van Halen. The other one was a Cars song, and then as weird as it sounds, a Limp Bizkit song too. Those are the three songs I always play when I go in. I don't know why those songs are like when I go home and I want to reminisce about being back home in Preston, Iowa. Those are the three songs I put in. Yeah. Don't ask me why. But
you know what was cool, Bullet, and then we'll move on, is one of my favorite Eddie Money songs, of course, we joke about it, is I Want to Go Back, back in the day. Mm-hmm. And Ace Frehley, the member of KISS, at one time, he just did an album, a brand new album, and he actually redid that song. He asked for Eddie Money's blessing, and Eddie Money gave it to him. And it's so kind of neat to see him. We all want to go back, is what I'm getting at, Bullet, just at that time. So, anyway, thank you, Eddie Money. And if this show, I'm telling you, this show, if it twinkles down somewhere and makes it to their home, that we love them. And it was a great time of music. But here's what I'm getting at. This is the point that just came back. My ADC or whatever it is in my head came back.
You get hit in the head a lot.
Yeah, I get hit in the head a lot, okay? You got to excuse me. A lot of concussions. No, you ain't. But, boy, listen. The Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they have refused to put Eddie in it for years. I mean, and he never made it in. He never made it in. And watch, this is just my own predicament, but I bet they'll put him in now. And I just kind of hate that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But whatever, just do it while we can enjoy it. You know what I'm saying, Bullet? But they. Does
Eddie have as much heat as China does?
Oh, that's what they're going to do with her.
That's what they do with her.
No.
We got to wait till she's dead before we put her in.
No, that's exactly right. And we've always said it, even with our buddy Ivan Koloff, who passed away. He never made it, and we don't really know why. But the thing, and I've heard over the last week or so some of Eddie's distant family saying that was the one thing that he wanted. I mean, and not really, because he knew he had his fans and stuff like that, but to be recognized, and they didn't do it. So, I don't know why, Bullet. What's the matter? What's the problem with sneaking? How much is it going to hurt to sneak one more guy in there? I mean, but anyway, and so there's talk now that he'll probably be put in now, and I don't know. Anyway, that's just me saying that.
Send me followers while I'm alive. Tell me
that's exactly right.
Tell me you love me while I'm alive. Don't wait till I'm dead to do something with me. That's why I think 10 bell salutes are dumb. Well, yes. I think they're dumb for multiple reasons, but that's definitely one of them.
When a promoter hits 9, if they forget to hit 10, that's happened so many. Or
ruin
12.
The show every time, and my whole life's not about ruining a show.
Yeah, so. No, I totally agree with you on that. So anyway, I'm sure he'll be put in the Hall of Fame, and everybody will be happy, and I'm happy for them. But it would have just been neat if he could have enjoyed that, while he was.
You get that stuff while you're alive, and then you You bury me literally and figuratively when I'm dead. You can talk
Yeah.
about me being the worst person a human body. I can't believe we gave him all this love while he was alive. That's what I want. Don't give me the love while I'm dead. Give me all the love while I'm alive, and then bury me when I'm dead.
No,
literally and figuratively.
Bullet, that's exactly right. So anyway, so much love to him, and again, and I still, his music will live on. My kids the twins took it very, very hard. I used to have an old Thunderbird that I'd use on the road, and the window wouldn't even roll up. My kids even remember this, and I'd keep a spray bottle on the dash, and then because I had no air, and the whole window was broke out of it. I just keep an old piece of ring canvas over it. But my twins hated that, and every time they would get hot, I'd turn around and squirt them. If they'd tell me to turn the air on, I'd turn around and squirt them with the water bottle.
Did your kids the only way to get them to fall asleep? Did you used to put them on the floorboards?
Oh boy,
that's what my parents.
warm.
That's what my parents used to do with me.
Oh.
Is when I would be like a fussy baby, they go for a drive. And they put me on the floorboard of the car, and that seemed to suit me down. Surprising,
I love that.
Surprising. Being on the road comforts me.
Yeah, I love that.
I don't know why.
Oh,
I don't know why
see?
that all makes sense years later. But a light bulb just went
See,
off
they
in my head.
knew. Well,
They knew.
They
They knew I was going to be a gypsy. They knew.
That's exactly
the only way
right.
to keep this kid happy is we put him in a car and we start putting some miles down the road.
They sure did. And just a quick mention: your mom's doing great.
She's doing great.
Back to
Doing
good.
fantastic.
Good.
I haven't heard
put-
from
put-
her
plug in
since
there.
I visited her. That means she's doing great. That's what my family works. If no
Yeah.
news is good
no,
news.
I know that.
And I see my dad's calling me like, whoop, something's happened.
No, I know. My brother Wayne, who had passed away years ago, but he was like that. He would be plowing many times. Me and Stallion back in the day, I would have a show nearby, so we'd go by and see Brother Wayne, and he'd be out plowing a field, and we'd get out, and I hadn't seen him in like 2 years, and I'd wave, and he'd wave on his tractor, but he wouldn't get off the tractor. I mean, he would finish, and if you wanted to wait, fine. He didn't mean nothing by it. It's just he's gonna finish doing what he was doing. And I remember many times saying, "We got to leave. We've been waiting 2 hours." He didn't mean nothing. He just didn't get off the tractor to come and hug you.
Yeah.
He just held his hand up, and if you came by, fine. If you didn't come by, fine. So anyway, so much going on this week, Bullet. I know you'll be gone this Saturday. I will be returning to Spartanburg Memorial Auditorium again. Big time wrestling. We'll be there.
Those shows aren't canceled? I thought they were canceled.
Friday night is.
Oh,
Friday
okay.
night, yes, Friday night is, and of course Saturday's still taking place.
Can't run a Friday show. You can book them all you want, but you just can't run them.
I'm telling you, man.
Reason.
And what's funny is Kane will be there, but also if he ain't, I got a cane from last week. A lot of good feedback on my bobblehead cane, my live bobblehead. But anyway, of course I will be there Saturday, and again, but the night before. And I'll see how this takes place tonight at our wrestling school. Opportunity Rowan County Fair will be all next week, Bullet, right up the road, 30 miles from our studios here. An opportunity for our students, but we all know how that goes. An opportunity for them to have 5 shows. They get to wrestle 5 nights in a row and don't even touch a ring.
Okay.
30 minutes from our house. So let's see how, and I'll keep an update and feedback.
Now the question is this ring just kind of set up in the middle of a field, and there's all this fair stuff going on, and then you're going to walk up to 2 of them and be like, all right, get in there and wrestle. And they'll be like, but George, there's no referee in here.
Yeah.
And you're like, it don't matter. Just start wrestling, Bobby Houston and Bull and Jake Manning. Just start wrestling. And we don't know what to do. Well, shouldn't there be a referee here? He goes, just start bumping around. People will come over eventually, but who do you want to win? He goes, it don't matter. Fruit, just start bumping around in it.
Bullet, that is my most cherished possession, is what you have remembered over
It was
the
one of
years.
those traumatics. First time I've ever wrestled a match with no referee before.
Oh, and yeah, you just described.
After about a year of doing that, I was pretty used to it.
Yeah, after about
Especially
a year.
especially when I had to talk to Charles Robinson, and Charles walked into one of your Christmas shows and asked, why is there no referee in the ring? And to which I said to Charles Robinson, a guy who will end up in the WWE Hall of Fame as a referee, I looked right at him and said, because George thinks referees get in the way. To which he replied, oh, that's just George being George.
So, and after about a year, it's still hard for you to be able to work with a ref in it.
Yeah,
You got so used
you're right.
to-
They do get in the way. You ain't
telling
kidding.
you.
They do get in the way.
They either, and then most of them think they're the star. They actually think, I mean, I've seen refs
I
try to
wrestled
get.
with a guy that, like 2 weeks ago, thought he was the star.
Oh, I hate that.
Immediately.
I've seen a ref try to get the people to, when they announce the special referee, they try to get the people to clap for them. And which reminds me, this I yelled at the one ref, had to smarten him up. This past Saturday, there was a show after the $5 wrestling, and there in Morton.
You mean we didn't kill the business on Saturday?
No, there's a few hanging. There's a few hanging around. But anyway, so this ref, it was we worked a little tag match, and I've never had this happen. I told the ref to stop doing it. I think he actually believed that I had a weapon on me. I mean, me and my partner are in the ring. The other team music ain't even started yet, and he's wanting to check me. I mean, brother, I told him 3 times, calm down. But nobody else is in the ring but me. And but he kept. I said, stop! You don't check till all 4 get in the ring. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody can see that. Because if you do all the person entrance, the attention's on the people at the entrance, then if they're not paying attention to me while you check me,
that's exactly right.
What are we doing here?
Exactly. So, anyway, and he still, bless his heart, I don't think he understood what I was trying to tell him, but I was trying to tell him just relax. I mean, but his checking was a shoot, is what I'm saying. Boy, he had me against the wall. I mean, he was really checking. I mean, he really thought that there's a 4 brass knuckles somewhere, and I'm thinking, bro, smart. I said, bro, I said, smarten up here. I said, leave me alone. And he kept coming over. I need to check it. I need to check it. I said, the other team ain't even in the ring yet. Mm-hmm. So that's one reason why I don't even have referees. But anyway, so we will see tonight when I offer that opportunity.
Let me ask this, though. Okay. For the show that was after my $5 wrestling show,
okay,
all those guys that showed up early for their show after hours and sat around and laughed at all the $5 wrestlers and were like, oh, these guys are so bad. All those. Were some of those guys on the same level as my $5 wrestlers?
Bullet, worse.
Thank you.
And I'm honestly, I'm glad you brought that up, Bullet, because I was there.
Because all you guys that laugh at $5 wrestlers, you're just as bad as they are.
No, it aggravated me.
The people that are good wrestlers appreciate how good Jeff Hardy is. They don't laugh at how bad he is. They appreciate how good he is.
Let me tell you something, and you didn't know this was even going to happen, but the tag match that I was in, Jeff Hart was one of the opponents on our side.
Okay.
And honestly, he listened to. I'd work Jeff Hart anytime. He listened to me.
He has found out what he is good at, and he's doing it, and he's committed to it.
But boy, it's so funny that you brought that up because my gimmick table was like right here, and the whole line of guys behind me. I'm not lying. There's like 15.
Oh, I saw a bunch of them.
Oh God, and
I was sitting there laughing.
Oh yeah,
I'm just looking at all of them like you are all just as bad.
Oh, and you know what's so funny, boy?
No, you're worse. Excuse me, you guys are worse than these guys.
Listen to me. I watched the show. Of course, I was part of the show later, but even some of them didn't even get used.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So even some of them that, but here's why I'm so glad you brought that up. I even had a fan come over and ask me, was them guys mine? I mean, honestly, and I said no. And honestly, none of them. They were not none of my students. I would have killed any of them, Bullet, because I noticed that too. It was like. It wasn't a fun thing on a Saturday afternoon here at the fairground building.
They were laughing and trying to make themselves feel better.
No, exactly.
And they're not. They're not as good.
No, I hated that. I hated it, Bullet. And then it made my heart feel good when some of them didn't even get used, not only on the $5, they didn't get used that night either. So some of
people who are good, they recognize what's good about Jeff Hart, and they celebrate that.
Well, that's one reason I went out there, and in front of that whole line of guys, I mean, it looked like a suspect. Look, at the police station. I mean, there were like 15 of them just laying against the wall, all making stupid comments. Yeah, and I hated that. And that's one reason I got out there with Jeff Hart and did a couple little spots with him. And he listened, and he bumped, and he did
35 minutes with Joey Janela. I think I can do 5 with George South.
Yes, Bullet. And so anyway, I'm glad you said that. But my hat's off to man. And, they got a dream too, boy. What the heck, man? We all do. But anyway, you would never catch me no, it was just stupid. I'd rather be around what was taking place, and I had fun, and then...
Let's see Big Donnie jump off the side of the ring.
Lord, Bullet. You know what I told him? I think that started out as like a DDT, and it ended up he lost 2 alphabets jumping off. It ended up like a T.
Yeah, just
like when he hit. Okay, it started a DDT off the side, and by the time he landed, it was just like a T. He lost 2 letters.
Time ran out on your life. T for time ran out.
Oh boy, he lost 2 letters on the process. But I told him, and
He dropped 2 D's.
he dropped 2 D's from the time he left side of that ring. Boy, I told him, I said, first I checked to make sure he was okay because he's a big man.
Yeah, I thought he broke his back.
Boy, there's no way for him, for anybody really, but there's no easy way for him to land because all that's
It's
coming.
legendary.
No, it
people,
was.
People are going to see it by the end of October.
Bullet.
You're going to see it, and it's legendary.
That he lived through that, honestly, Bullet, was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, it was that breathtaking to me.
I gave him a big hug afterwards.
Oh,
it's like you put your body on the line.
Well,
Like him and Jeff Hart in that match. Raider Rock just happened to be there.
Yeah.
Those two, they went for it.
Of course, I'm running from Raider Rock because he still wants to thank me for giving him his first break in the business.
Oh my God! Is he messaging you on Facebook?
Oh, Bullet. Listen, and he's working all of us because I have blocked him literally like 18 times, but he finds a way.
He's changing his name.
Yeah, he finds a way to weed in past the system. And you watch, some way he's gonna like hotwire and end up talking, to the national security.
I'm surprised
or
the
something.
Nigerian prince hasn't gotten hold of him.
Oh, please let him, Bullet. That's good, Bullet. We gotta save that. The Nigerian prince.
Can't
even
save it. We
blocked
just
him.
used it.
Listen, no, I will use it again. The Nigerians, the prince, even blocked him. You see what I'm saying?
Nigerian prince is like, this is way too much work. This is not worth what I'm going to get out of this guy.
Jay Drake, you hear that? The national terrorists blocked Raider Rock. He's gonna say it. They say it's way too much trouble. But anyway, he's just run. He's just let me run. Okay, it's 200 degrees outside. He comes right into my car to thank me for getting him into business. I roll up every one of the windows, sit there like I was on the phone. Okay,
His little thing on his neck got stuck in the window as you're rolling it up.
Boy, bless his heart, Lord, he sure did. And then he brings his son. He's got a son. His son's 15 years old. He brings a car. He brings a birthday card over. Yes.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
For me to sign, and literally it's wet. I mean, I don't know if he's like had so the 2 people that signed it before me, it's all smeared. You know what I'm saying? So the card is literally, I think he even said a drink on it or spilled a bottle of water on it, and it's literally like dissolving. I mean, the card, and he said, "Can you sign this for my son? Happy birthday." And I said, What do you want me to sign? I mean, and so what I did is the card, I guess he kept it separate. The card, the envelope's what I'm saying, that it went in. I signed the envelope.
Yeah.
I said, "Happy birthday, best way, George South, Mr. One," on the envelope because the card was dissolving.
Funny that you brought up this story. This also circled back to the story about the Christmas show in Mooresville Armory with Charles Robinson. Raider Rock was on that show. And Raider Rock, as soon as I walked into the locker room, he had a birthday cake. And I go, "Whose birthday is it?" He goes, "Jesus, duh." And then he asked me how to spell my name. And I told him, against my better wishes and my better judgment. And he took out like a Christmas card and wrote my name as I spelled it out. He put this card, put it in an envelope, and then handed it to me. He goes, "Here's your Christmas card." Right in front of me. Asked me how to spell my name. Wrote it down, put it in a Christmas card right in front of me, and just handed it to me. That's a real human being. That's a real human being.
It sure is, and he's one of the like 8th wonders of wrestling. I'm telling you, if you can have a conversation with him. But anyway, so I signed a happy birthday to his son, which is mind-boggling to me. He's 15 years old, but I signed the envelope. So the card, it was just like melting. And I don't think he realized it. The ink, I said, I can't sign it. So anyway. So much going on, Bullet. I know you got a busy week. Fixing to leave here.
Yep, about ready to fly for LA. I actually won't be here next Tuesday. Just to let you know. Well, I might be here about time. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what time my plane lands and all that stuff. But I'm basically gone for an entire week. I'll be in LA filming interviews and such, and wrestling for Bar Wrestling, and I'll be out there. And then when I get back, I got Queen City Comedy Experience. There's a comedy festival going on here in Charlotte next week, so make sure you show up for all those shows. A lot of big names and comedy will be there. I'm just going to be happy because I'm going to be sleeping in my own bed next weekend. I'll be able to watch a little bit of football at some point in time.
And a quick plug for ROs. I know you and Mike Lee got to enjoy it Saturday. Made me so jealous that after all the $5 Wrestling.
So needed.
And I shared this with you before y'all left. It's good, but it's very amazing when you ain't really got to be nowhere right then. You know, when we usually got a show to go to afterwards.
There's no rushing.
So you can kind of just like
get
a refill on
I was
your
actually
tea
falling
and-
asleep while driving there. It was like 6 o'clock at night. I was like falling asleep behind the wheel. I was nodding off. But because I basically had only gotten 8 hours of sleep since that Wednesday. So from like Wednesday to Saturday, I only gotten 8 hours of sleep total. So I was exhausted.
So y'all,
But that rose, that perked me right up.
Oh, so y'all was able to go in and enjoy it there, and
Sat
it's
down,
just
Took my
unbelievable.
time. I even got hush puppies, which I normally don't do.
Man.
And then just sopped up
The
all
slaw?
all the
Oh,
slaw,
boy,
the hush
you're making me
puppies.
hungry right now. So, anyway, idiot of the week, if you don't mind, Bullet.
All right,
I know
and
our
we'll let
bags.
you know that we've lost our bag, and I'm actually probably going to see the guy that made the idiot bag. So maybe I can get another
yes.
idiot bag.
Yes.
I'm gonna see our good buddy. But for this week,
so we're-
idiot bag is sponsored by Nike. By Nike.
So, are you taking a knee? Do you want me to take a knee? I don't want to take a knee. That's not.
No,
okay.
I mean.
Anyway, but real quick, this two things real quick, if you don't mind. Of course, we went to our regular idiot bag to our chips bag, and then our chips disappeared, and then now we're Nike.
But Nike's jumping all over it.
No, all over it. Real quick, Bullet. Everybody knows, and this is just the aggravationist thing in the world. Pastor friend of mine, South Carolina, Pastor Jim. We all know he wanted a couple autographed pictures to give to some of the little kids at church of me. You know, no big deal, so big deal. So I signed a couple pictures, but I put them in a vanilla envelope. Okay, Bullet. I go into the post office. Okay, no big deal. People go in there a million times a day. Anyway, so and I, buy a first class stamp. Okay, and I mail them. Okay, no big deal, Bullet. A week goes by. And I know Pastor Jim's very, very busy, and 2 weeks go by. I'm talking South Carolina, which is less than 180 miles away or whatever, easy, okay? And I'm talking about the U.S. Postal Service here. So, Bullet, believe this or not, 3 weeks go by. 3 weeks now, and I haven't heard anything. So I kind of call, and you know how it is when you give somebody a gift, you don't want to call and say, "Did you like the gift?" You know, so you got to kind of wait. So I said, well, there may be, there may be a chance that they didn't get there. So anyway. Believe it or not, so I called Pastor Jim. I said, Pastor Jim, I just want to tell you that I mailed those pictures 3 weeks ago. But do you know, as of today, I went in there this morning, big mess. They haven't got them. I mean, they haven't got them. So, which I didn't. I'm kind of like you a little bit. I didn't freak out. You know, I took a deep breath. I said, okay, I understand. I know they didn't get them, and I got my receipt showing 3 weeks now. I could have drove down there and delivered these pictures. So. Anyway, so I started
walked down there for 3
I could have
weeks.
walked down there. So I just start asking questions about the system. Okay, I know you drop a mail in there and you leave and it's just supposed to get delivered. So anyway, so they start telling me, Bullet, that, and I know the process that mail goes through. Don't get me wrong, Bullet. And so they start telling me, well, did you pay $6 to get some kind of a tracking number? And I said, well, no, because it only cost. I mean, it's. A first class stamp was $1 or something. I mean, but my argument the whole time, I didn't get anywhere where I'm getting at with this before I throw them an idiot bag, is they basically said that there's nothing you can do. In other words, they basically told me that the guy even said, well, that's just like when you just put a stamp on a letter and just mail it. And I said, well, okay, that's what I did. I mean, I put a stamp on a letter and mail it. But my whole argument, and I'm not done. I mean, I had, is there's no legitimate answer to this, is what I'm getting at, Bullet, because my argument was, instead of having to buy all that other stuff, where does the U.S. Post Office step in, and what are you paying for is what I'm saying. Where does their job qualification start and stop? In other words, he said, well, it could be in Arizona right now, coming back. That's what I swear that's what the guy told me. And I said, you're kidding, right? And I said, because we ship, of course, stuff here at Hospital, so we ship all over the world, Mexico, stuff like that, and there's no problem. And it goes through customs and all this kind of stuff, and there's no issues. But they don't know where it is. And I said, well, is there any way that you can call? I just need something I'll do the footwork. I just want to find out where these pictures are. And I know they're just pictures. But, Bullet, the whole thing that's going through my head is, what if it was something, I didn't tell them this, what if it was something like a marriage, like a birth certificate? What if it was something that was very, very, very
Couldn't
important?
be replaced. But of course,
No.
they would say, well, that's why you got to pay for the extra $6, $7, $8 for it.
That's exactly right. And so I know now, I mean, but
Pay more money, we'll actually care about you.
But yeah, that's basically what it was. Because
Surprise! Surprise! The post office is a branch of the federal government.
Boy,
if you have more money, we'll
no,
actually
that's
care
exactly
about
what
you.
they were telling me. And here's the thing: before I throw them in the idiot bag, Bullet, is they couldn't tell me. Okay, what is the U.S. Post Office's responsibility? I mean, don't tell me we just stuck a stamp on it and it's a lottery. You put it in the mail and it's a 50-50 chance. I don't.
Unless you pay $6.
No,
Unless
exactly.
you have
You see
money.
what I'm saying?
Then we'll take care of you.
So that's kind of what we ended today's conversation with my receipt in my hand, which you didn't even look at it. And I said, so you're telling me that unless I pay, because I already paid first class stamp, okay? And so you're telling me unless I, like you just said, unless I spend $6 more, okay? There's really no. He basically admitted they don't care.
They don't care. Let's have more money.
Yeah, exactly. And he said, well,
branch of the federal government.
Oh boy. And I said, well, that's not good enough. I said, so can you give me a number that I can call to see where my package is? He said, no, we can't. He said, because we don't know where it is right now. And I said, I know that. That's why I'm in here arguing. And people were behind me because I was fighting for the system behind me, Bullet, because I know everybody's kind of wondered, yeah, you drop it in there and you drive off. And
you're doing the Jimmy Stewart, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, filibustering up there, and you just pass out.
I said, so what I want to know here before I leave, sir, is that you're telling me that if I'd have paid that extra $6, which wasn't mandatory, is what I'm saying. I paid what it cost to mail the first ship package, okay? Which first class don't mean crap. Yep. They lose a first class just like do anything. So anyway, so I said, so you're telling me if I'd have paid that other $6, which would have been $7, Bullet, for a basic picture. I mean, which was I should have went to UPS. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, UPS got you there. No, it'd be okay. It's gonna be this.
Exactly. And so anyway, I said, so you're telling me if I'd have paid the other $6, $7 total, that they would have, you would have cared more. And he nodded. He basically just told me that if you spend $7, which who's going to do that for just a simple picture? You see what I'm saying, Bullet? Here's my whole point, and I'm going to throw them in the bag and I'm going to shut up, is I'm still aggravated because, I can just stick more pictures in and mail it, but I don't want to do that, Bullet. I'll find another way to do it. But here is my whole thing. When I gave him that envelope and said, I would like to mail this, he said, first class, sir, 2 to 3 days. I said, yes, sir. He said, $1.60. That's what the guy told me, okay? He didn't say nothing about,
you spend more money, why should you get it?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm listening to him. He's the one that told me to pay $1.60. Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say? Bullet. He didn't. So I did what first class. There's nothing above first class, is what I'm saying. Does that make sense? So anyway, they don't know where it is. They do not know in this modern technology world where my envelope. And it's been 3 weeks. And here's what really aggravates me. And I'm throwing them in the idiot bag. If I was sitting here doing a show with you thinking that Pastor Jim had already got the pictures and just, he would have never got them. Does that make sense? Well, so if I hadn't instigated it, I would have never known that they're lost. But why can't, I told him, I said, can you not right now on your, because I had a receipt, told him when it was shipped, told him the time it left the post office. I said, can you not look in that computer and tell me right now where this thing went? He said, no. I said, not even by the receipt? He said, no. He said, because you didn't pay the extra $6.50. So, which it's wrong.
Then what are they scanning? Because if it's a first class, like wouldn't there look like a little thing on it?
No, there was. Bullet.
Yeah, there was. What are they scanning then?
But what made me so mad, Bullet, and I know I got to shut up. What made me so mad is he said, well, it goes through a bunch of machines. Yeah, so does every piece of mail goes through a machine, Bullet. But anyway, so I'm throwing the U.S. Post Office. I've learned a very valuable lesson. I'm still praying. I hope it turns up, just so I can go in there and say, could please explain to me why it took 2 months for this to get to Columbia. And I've checked the rival place. The lady down there has been very helpful. She said, we just ain't got, we ain't got no mail from this is where it would have ended up. I found that on my own, is what I'm saying, boys. So anyway,
U.S. Postal Service.
Yes.
You're getting close to getting up to the Dallas Cowboys as far as being in the idiot bag. But just as a reminder, if you have more money, the federal government will take care of you. And once again, this idiot bag segment is sponsored by Nike. Nike.com. Just do it.
But boy, so basically that's it. Real quick, they So now I know to take a basic letter in there, you're going to pay $6 or $7 if you want it delivered.
Okay.
That's the thing. You can pay $1. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't going.
And good luck. You pay $1, but good luck.
But see,
that's the new slogan of the post office.
Boy, I know I butchered that today, but my point, and I want our viewers to see. My question was, okay, where does the U.S. Post Office take over? Where do they kick in? And I mean, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that how it's supposed to work? You mail a letter to Santa, and he gets it. But they couldn't tell me that.
And it's not. We got virtual reality around the corner, George. Nothing makes a difference anymore. I don't even know if this is the reality that I'm living in.
But you cannot simply go in the post office like back in the day. Oh, I want to go back, Eddie Money, and just buy a stamp and put it on your envelope and mail it and be secure that it gets there, because it don't. So anyway, so I'm shutting up. Bo, anything real quick before we get out of here?
Nah, about time.
Folks, listen to me. If you want to get one, we advise you to purchase it, and then I'll probably have to drive it to you personally instead of mailing it. Is the
second greatest book of all time, and we do have available FedEx shipping. If you prefer that, you can select that just as easily. I think we have UPS too. I don't know. I'll have to take a look. If you don't want it at the post office, you don't have to. But if you also want to pay $20 to make sure it gets there, you can do that too. High Spot's got all kinds of shipping options as well. But if you want to keep track with me, make sure you follow me on Twitter at ManScoutManning or on Instagram at ManScoutManning. This has been another edition of Dad You Don't Work, You.
Thank you, Bullet. Very good. Pony Express, even Bullet.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
DHL,
I could have Pony Expressed it down there.
Postmates, Uber Eats, whatever.
You talking about passing the buck and not accepting? I said, okay, I know what you're saying, sir, but where is the post office's responsibility for this? And he could not tell me. Bullet.
He's like, I don't know.
All he kept saying was, you should have paid the $6. I said, Lord, for one 8x10.